Unit 13. Residential Lease. Arrendamiento residencial. Tomado del libro Inglés para Abogados. Libro de texto con sus respectivos ejercicios. Contrato de arrendamiento. Lease agreement. Entered between landlord and tenant. For good consideration, it is agreed between the parties as follows. Location. Landlord hereby leases and lets tenant use the premises described as follows. 2 office rooms located at Plaza. Term. This lease shall be for the term of 3 years commencing on rent. Tenant shall pay landlord the annual rent of $24,000 during said term, in monthly payments of $2,000, each payable monthly on the first day of each month, in advance, at such place as we may from time to time specify by written notice to you. Tenant shall pay the security deposit of $3,000, which shall be returned upon termination of this lease. Utilities and services. Tenant shall at its own expense provide the following utilities or services. Tenant must pay promptly all past due charges for furnishing, for example, water, electricity, garbage service, and any other public utilities to the premises during the lease term. Landlord does not warrant the quality or adequacy of the utilities or services specified above, nor does landlord warrant that any of the utilities or services specified above will be free from interruption caused by repairs, improvements, or alterations to the buildings or the apartment, or any of the equipment and facilities of the building, any labor controversy, or any other causes of any kind beyond landlord's reasonable control. Any such interruption and any other inability on our part to fulfill our lease obligation resulting from any such a cause will not be considered an eviction or disturbance of the tenant's use and possession of the apartment, and render us liable to you for damages or relieve you from performing your lease obligations. Tenant further agrees that condition of premises. Upon expiration of the lease, it shall return possession of the leased premises in its present condition reasonable wear and tear. Assignments or subletting. Tenant shall not assign or sublet said premises and allow any other person to occupy the leased premises without landlord's prior written consent. Alterations. Tenant shall not make any material or structural alterations to the leased premises without landlord's prior written consent. Compliance with law. Tenant shall comply with all building, zoning, and health codes and other applicable laws for the use of said premises. Tenant's conduct. Tenant shall not conduct on premises any activity deemed extra hazardous, or a nuisance, or requiring an increase in fire insurance premiums. Pets. Tenant shall not allow pets on the premises. Right of termination and reentry. In the event of any breach of the payments, or rent, or any other allowed charge, or other breach of this lease, landlord shall have full rights to terminate this lease in accordance with the state law and re-enter and reclaim possession of the leased premises. Subordination. This lease shall be subordinate to all present and future mortgages against the property. Time of essence. Time is of the essence with respect to all dates in this agreement. Indemnity. Tenant will indemnify and hold landlord and landlord's property, including the leased premises, free and harmless from any liability for injury to or death of any person, including tenant, or for damage to property arising from tenants using and occupying the premises, or from the act or omission of any person or persons, including tenant, in and about the premises with tenant's express or implied consent, binding on heirs and assigns, subject to the provision of this lease agreement assignments of tenants' interests under this lease. All lease provisions extend to and bind or inure to the benefits of the parties to this lease and to every heir, executor, representative, successor, and assign of both parties. Rights and remedies cumulative. The rights and remedies under this lease are cumulative, and either parties, using any one right or remedy, will not preclude or waive the party's right to use any other. These rights and remedies are in addition to any other right the parties may have by law, statutes, ordinance, or otherwise. New York law to apply. This agreement is to be construed under New York law, and all obligations of the parties created under this lease are performable in New York, United States of America. Legal construction. If any one or more of the lease provisions are for any reason held invalid, illegal, and unenforceable in any respect, such invalidity, illegability, or unenforceability will not affect any other provision of this lease, which will be construed as if it had never included the invalid, illegal, or unenforceable provision. Prior agreements superseded. These agreements constitute the only agreements of the parties and supersedes any prior understanding or written or oral agreements between the parties respecting the subject matter. Amendment. No amendment, modification, or alteration of this lease is binding unless in writing, dated subsequent to the date of this lease, and duly executed by both parties. Additional lease terms. Signed this on the 22nd day of February 2011. In witness of this agreement, the landlord and tenant execute this agreement as of the day and year first written above. Signature of landlord, signature of tenant. End of Unit 13. The reading.